What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some really awesome stuff, so make sure that you guys stay clear till the end because there is a big project. You guys probably know what it is. It's been around for a long time, and I'm really going to be going into the details about where the prices are going, why it's so important to be invested in this project, and kind of my thoughts on the different dominances as far as BTC pairs and all of that. So it's going to be really awesome. Before we get started though, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure that you do, as well as hitting the like button if you've been getting value out of these videos, and share it with your friends. It really helps me reach my goal of 100,000 subscribers. I have a short-term goal though of 50,000 subscribers, so once I reach that 50,000 subscriber mark, I'm going to be doing a bunch of giveaways, so make sure that you guys stay tuned for those. And yeah, so that's pretty much everything. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so I'm starting off with the Ethereum dollar pair. And the reason that I'm starting off with this is because I generally look at dollar pairs first. And kind of my thoughts behind looking at the dollar pair first is because I actually get a very clear piece of information about how it's being affected by US dollar prices. As you guys know, the US dollar is the current currency of the world, so it's really useful to compare charts of every market, whether it's stocks or whatever you're trading, to the dollar to understand how the dollar is affecting it in terms of value. When you guys are trading things, it's important to step back and realize that everything is traded versus the value of something else. And so value is based on the value of two things in comparison to each other. When it comes to Ethereum, looking at the Ethereum dollar pair is really useful for me because I can see the Elliott waves very clearly. Where if you try to find Elliott waves on some of the other charts, you might not be able to clearly map them out. And that is generally because you're not looking at it versus the dollar. The dollar is where you're going to get the most clear Elliott wave structure that you can go ahead and follow to simplify your trading. And generally when I'm looking at these charts, you guys, I actually just tweeted about this today because one of my VIP members was asking me a question. And I get a lot of questions about buying. And so here's some pro tips that I personally use. This is never financial advice, but this is what I personally use to make money on these markets. And so first of all, I like to buy big picture. As you guys can see, I'm in the 3-day candlesticks, super zoomed out, super stretched out. And that is because those are the cycles that I make the most money on. They're the simplest. You just set it, forget it, make money in the big picture. So the 1 week, the 1 day, the 3-day, and the 1 month candlesticks are all very useful for that. The second tip is not to be overly paranoid about your entry. I see people trying to catch every little swing, especially on Twitter. People will post these trades where they're like, okay, well, I'm expecting it to go down to this exact price or that exact price. And exact prices can be useful in certain situations, but overall, don't be overly paranoid. You can always market buy, you can ladder in, you can ladder out. There's lots of opportunities to be getting in and out of the market. And when you're trading the big picture anyways, you're not really worried about the tiny price action in these smaller time frames. And so buying market price, whether it's on Coinbase or whatever your favorite exchange is, Bittrex, Bitforex, whatever you're using to trade these markets, go ahead and remember to not be overly paranoid inside of the markets because it's easy to try to overcomplicate a simple thing, which is really just buying something that is really cheap. I mean, you can see in the big picture, this is down significantly from its peaks. I mean, we're talking 93% from the peak high to the peak low and about 80% to the peak high to where we're at right now. So that's really important to remember, you guys. And then also I use market buys more than people expect, which kind of goes along with not being overly paranoid about the perfect entry. So I just wanted to touch up on that. But as you guys can see, this Elliott wave structure, this is an ABC correction. You guys can learn more about Elliott waves with a quick Google search. They're one of my favorite trading strategies. And that's kind of why I'm watching Ethereum so closely, is this Elliott wave structure. Reminds me a lot of Bitcoin when I got back into Bitcoin way back in the day in 2015. So what I'm kind of watching for, you guys, is actually a parabolic break. And that parabolic break should take us up to the resistance of the B wave. There is news around Ethereum. I believe Ethereum 2.0 is getting released very soon. But you guys, I'm trading this based on chart patterns. That's just an additional kind of bonus point for what the chart pattern is actually showing. and what the chart pattern is presenting from a market cycle and technical perspective. So that's kind of what I'm watching here with Ethereum, you guys. Definitely going to break up towards the B wave. Definitely one that a lot of people are hyped about with good reason to be, and definitely one that I'm personally watching. And one of the things about Ethereum, you guys, is you have to remember tons of other projects are actually built upon Ethereum. And so if those projects fail and if Ethereum fails, that kind of means the entire Ethereum marketplace, if you will fail. And I really do not see that happening. In fact, I'll get into a little bit about some of the other coins that are actually built upon the Ethereum chain and why they're rising in value versus Ethereum and how that's actually good for the Ethereum prices. So that's kind of what I'm watching for with the Ethereum dollar pair. Current price is about $264. I can't get into exact targets as far as that goes because of the VIP situation, but just understand that this B wave resistance level right here is likely to be tested. And that B wave resistance is very, very big. But in the big picture, that's really going to be nothing because ultimately what we're watching for is a break of our previous all-time highs, meaning that this all-time high point right here where Ethereum topped out, that could be broken in the future. There's a possibility for us to break above that high. And when that actually happens, we're talking about price discovery, which is very parabolic. And parabolic is similar to this move right here, where the market just goes crazy and everybody's in euphoria. And that's kind of what I'm watching for with the dollar pair on Ethereum. Now, another thing that I'm watching very closely is the Ethereum Bitcoin pair, second to the dollar pair. And what's really interesting about the Ethereum Bitcoin pair, you guys, is this rounded bottom structure and this really big accumulation pattern right here. As we break these resistance levels, these shorter term resistance levels, as we break above those shorter term resistance levels, there's going to be a lot of room for the market to go up. I mean, the next major resistance is right here and right here. And so there is a lot of rounded structure, a lot of big picture accumulation taking place here, and a lot of money to be made inside of the Ethereum markets. Definitely the Ethereum Bitcoin pair is useful to understand from a structure, from a technical perspective. The Ethereum dominance is basically the Ethereum dominance versus all the other coins. And as you guys can see, Ethereum dominance is looking very good as well. We have major resistance levels of this point right here and this point right here, the previous all-time high. And we're actually pushing right up against major resistance levels that we've consolidated against pretty much all through 2020. So when that level breaks, that's going to be very significant for the Ethereum dominance. And I expect the Ethereum dominance to continue up in its cycle and really trend up through these resistance levels and provide an opportunity for us to make a lot of money. So it's very important to be watching dominance levels with these coins. Coins that have a lot of dominance are definitely ones to be following because that dominance will reflect in the price of the coin versus the dollar, which is generally what people want, is to have either more dollars or more Bitcoin or more of their favorite crypto to go ahead and spend or use as a currency, pay bills, whatever you got to do with your money. You know, this is a currency, you guys. This is investing for profit as well, but you have to remember cryptocurrency. Like you can pay your bills with this, you can spend it, and it's really, really awesome that we have the opportunity to go ahead and do that inside of these markets, to profit off the markets, and then to be able to use that profit to, you know, live or travel or whatever it is you want to do. So that's super cool with the Ethereum dominance. You guys, Loopering versus Ethereum. So this is Loopering, an Ethereum-based project, and this is versus Ethereum. So I'm not looking at Loopering versus the dollar. I'm looking at it versus ETH. And what's interesting is versus Ethereum, you can see that we've started an uptrend. So that means that Loopering is building dominance versus Ethereum. Now, some people might see this and they might go, oh, well, isn't that bearish for Ethereum? Because Loopering is rising in value versus comparing it to the value of Ethereum. And no, that's not the case at all. Just like how in 2017, when Bitcoin went crazy high and all of the altcoins followed shortly behind it, I fully expect that to be the case with a lot of the Ethereum projects. As they rise in value, Ethereum will rise in value too. So one of the things that you have to remember, you guys, is markets carry each other. As money comes into the cryptocurrency market, it trickles over. You know, you might say the cup runneth over. And so as that cup gets filled up inside of these different projects, it trickles into the other ones as a natural result of the hype, of the emotion inside of the markets. And that emotion is getting bigger and bigger and bigger as we speak. And with Loopering being an ETH project breaking out versus Ethereum, I fully expect Ethereum to be breaking out very soon. You know, as the cup runneth over and Loopering, Ethereum should be breaking out shortly behind it. There are some Ethereum projects that haven't broken out yet, but at the same time, you guys, this project specifically, Augur, is one that's really, really interesting because, let me just go ahead and use the date only, because this has been accumulating versus Ethereum for over 1,100 days. And that accumulation is going to result in a move up or down. Now, if a lot of the other coins are breaking up versus Ethereum already, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that's what happens with Augur versus Ethereum. Definitely one to be watching very closely, definitely one to be interested in. And, you know, like I said, the cup runneth over. So if this one is getting filled up, this one could be shortly behind it. The market leaders tend to show what's going to come in some of the other markets. So Augur versus Ethereum looks very good. Augur versus the dollar also looks very good. And Loopering versus the dollar also looks very good. But in today's video, I've been talking mainly about Ethereum. So that's why I was comparing them versus Ethereum and showing the correlations. Can't really get into that Bitcoin chart too much because that is VIP content. But you guys, as far as the market goes as a whole, you can see Ethereum is up 12%. As far as the ones that are dipping today, oh, this is actually the ones pumping. So we have Digibyte pumping. Huge shout out to my Digibyte followers. We have Flexicoin pumping. I really don't know too much about Flexicoin. We have Maker pumping. Huge shout out to Maker. My neighbor actually knows the people down at Maker. So huge shout out to you guys. Super cool project. Chainlink pumping, you know, all these different projects are pumping. So that's really awesome to see. The ones that are actually down right now are like IXRLC. I can't even pronounce that properly. I'm probably just going to call it RLC for ease of use. Band Protocol is down. We have Ampleforth is down. Aave, this is actually one that I'm watching closely. So there's a lot of coins in the red today, and sometimes when they're in the red, people want to be selling them like Kyber. But these are actually the coins that are probably providing more of a short-term opportunity for buying. Remember, if stuff is really red, you want to be buying. And when I say that, I want you guys to understand that it's not like every single time, no matter what, if you buy a coin in the red, it's going to result in profit. But you have a much higher probability of achieving profit if you're buying dips, if you're buying blood, than if you're FOMOing into something. Now, if you're a momentum trader and you see a coin breaking out and it's up in the 24-hour in the green and you have a plan for trading momentum, that can be useful too. So it's not necessarily like there's always a right, wrong choice. It just depends on your trading plan, what works for you, and applying that trading plan in a way that is repeatable so that when you take your trade, you know that by taking it with that criteria, you can repeat that setup over and over and over again. And the majority of the time, you're going to be pulling money out of the markets. So that's kind of what a trading plan is. I go into a little bit of detail about that in the VIP as well. So by the way, you guys, huge shout out to everybody watching my channel. It's been growing really fast. Especially, it's been fun to kind of revive myself out of the 2017 or the 2018 bear market and revive this channel. I really appreciate the support you guys provided to me through that period of time. I definitely had an emotional breakdown. I had some things happen that really shook me up, and to have my channel behind me, supporting me, my family, my friends, my Discord community, everybody, I really, give this to you guys. You guys are the people that were there for me when I needed it most and helped me through all of that, to stabilize, to revive myself, to bring back high altitude investing and keep creating content for you guys. So huge shout out to everybody that was there for me, helping me along my journey. I really appreciate you guys. It was one hell of a ride, but I learned a lot from it. And now I would say that it taught me a lot about myself. I'm becoming a stronger, more resilient person inside of my life. So thank you guys. Huge shout out to my family specifically. Huge shout out to all the subscribers, all the day ones, all the Discord members. Huge shout out to Donovan over at DIY Investing. Huge shout out to Jake. Huge shout out to James. Huge shout out to Jacob, all of my friends, all my close friends. I really appreciate you guys looking out for me. And it just goes to show that when you have a strong support structure like I do with you guys, that anything is possible. So thank you guys for that. I really, really genuinely appreciate it. As you guys know, I am looking for a secretary position. So if you're looking for extra work, make sure that you go follow me on Twitter. Links are in the description, or high altitude INV is my tag, and just apply this Google form. And if I see opportunity, if you're a match for me, we'll discuss further. I'll send you an email about kind of what that implies from a position of what you would be doing inside of that work. So yeah, that's kind of everything I want to talk about with Ethereum. ETH 2.0 is coming out. Huge breakout coming. A lot of the projects are looking good versus Ethereum. So that means that ETH projects are actually being accumulated and purchased right now and kind of leading Ethereum, which is really interesting to me. And the Ethereum Bitcoin pair is also looking good. So that means that Bitcoin dominance is on track to drop like we expected it to. And that's kind of what I talked about in yesterday's video about shifting into higher altcoin positions and actually reducing my Bitcoin positions to go ahead and profit in these markets. You guys, like I said, the Discord has been growing super fast. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to my other camera to go ahead and talk a little bit about what the Discord is, about what the VIP is, and some more details on that. Meow. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in today's Ethereum video. I hope that you learned something, got some value out of the charts. There is a lot of stuff to shift through in these markets. Sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed in the markets, or maybe you haven't been pulling the money that you want to pull out of the markets, I do have a VIP program. This will really accelerate your learning process and your profit process. I've been getting a lot of new members, so shout out to all the new VIPs. Shout out to the original gangsters. Shout out to everybody that was a VIP in 2017 that's coming back. And if you were a VIP, you know, a lifetime member specifically, the 1 years, all those have expired by now. If you were a lifetime member, make sure that you shoot me an email or a Discord message and I can get you guys back inside of that VIP program. Since you're a lifetime member, it's going to be free for the rest of your entire life. So yeah, you guys, the VIP program is really awesome. I have a 20% sale running until the end of the week. So make sure that you check the description box if you're ready to pull the trigger and get set up profiting today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today's video. Share this video with your friends as well as liking it and subscribing to my channel. If you haven't, it really does a lot to support the growth of this channel so I can continue to make these videos and help you guys profit in the markets. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in future updates. As always, stay profitable out there.